He was born into privilege, the son of a successful real estate developer. New York City was his jungle, a concrete playground where dreams were made and broken. Fred Trump, his father, taught him the family business real estate. Donald learned fast. He was brash, ambitious, and eager to make his mark. He craved success, not just for himself, but to prove his worth to his father. Every deal was a step towards earning his father's respect. Trump's early deals were audacious. He revitalized crumbling properties, transforming them into gleaming skyscrapers that pierced the New York skyline. His name, in gold letters, became synonymous with luxury and ambition. Trump Tower stood as a testament to his vision and tenacity. But with success came setbacks. The high-stakes world of real estate was unforgiving. High-profile bankruptcies tarnished the golden image he had so carefully crafted. The media was relentless. Yet Trump always bounced back, his resilience fueled by an unshakable belief in himself. The media loved him, and he knew how to use it to his advantage. They chronicled his every move, every deal, every marriage. His life was a public spectacle. Trump played the game with the press, always staying one step ahead. He knew how to grab headlines and keep the public's attention. He became a master of media manipulation, turning every appearance into an opportunity to build his brand. He became more than a businessman. He was a fixture in the world of entertainment, rubbing shoulders with celebrities and politicians alike. He was a celebrity, a symbol of American capitalism, for better or worse. His journey from real estate mogul to cultural icon was nothing short of extraordinary. The new millennium brought new opportunities. Trump ventured into the world of reality television. The Apprentice became a cultural phenomenon. Millions tuned in to watch his boardroom pronouncements. "You're fired" became a catchphrase. Trump's appeal went beyond business acumen. He was blunt, often outrageous, and undeniably entertaining. He cultivated an image of the self-made man, the ultimate winner. He connected with viewers who felt frustrated with the status quo. He tapped into a vein of populism that would serve him well in the years to come. Few took his candidacy seriously at first. When Donald Trump announced he was running for president, many saw it as a publicity stunt. The media treated it as a spectacle, and political analysts dismissed his chances. A reality TV star as president? Unthinkable. Known for his role on The Apprentice, Trump was a household name, but not in the political arena. His brash personality and catchphrase, "You're fired," were more suited for television than the Oval Office. But Trump had a message that resonated with a segment of America. He spoke directly to the frustrations and fears of many voters. His rallies drew massive crowds, and his speeches were filled with promises of change. "Make America Great Again" became a rallying cry for those who felt left behind. The slogan captured the essence of his campaign, appealing to those who believed the country had lost its way. He campaigned on a platform of economic nationalism, promising to bring back jobs and renegotiate trade deals. His message was clear: America first. He vowed to protect American workers and industries from what he described as unfair foreign competition. He railed against illegal immigration and promised to build a wall on the US-Mexico border. This promise became one of the most controversial and talked about aspects of his campaign, symbolizing his tough stance on immigration. His rhetoric was divisive, often inflammatory. He shattered political norms. Trump was unafraid to speak his mind, often using language that shocked both his supporters and detractors. His unfiltered style was a stark contrast to the polished speeches of traditional politicians. The political establishment underestimated him. Many believed his campaign would fizzle out, but Trump continued to gain momentum. His unconventional approach and ability to dominate the news cycle kept him in the spotlight. His opponents attacked his character, his lack of experience. They questioned his temperament and suitability for the highest office. Despite the barrage of criticism, Trump remained defiant, using social media to bypass traditional channels and speak directly to his base. But Trump connected with voters who were tired of the political elite. He tapped into a deep-seated discontent with the status quo, promising to drain the swamp and bring a new kind of leadership to Washington. On election night, the world watched in shock as he defied the polls and won the presidency. It was a stunning upset that left many in disbelief, but for his supporters, it was a moment of triumph and validation. Trump governed as he campaigned, boldly and unconventionally. He slashed taxes, particularly for corporations and wealthy individuals. He rolled back regulations, arguing that they stifled economic growth. He engaged in trade wars, imposing tariffs on goods from China and other countries. His supporters cheered his moves, seeing them as long overdue correctives. His critics argued that his policies benefited the wealthy at the expense of the poor and working class. They warned of a ballooning national debt and a trade war that could hurt American businesses and consumers. Section 5. A Nation Divided: Controversies and Impeachment. Trump's presidency was marked by constant controversy. His administration was plagued by scandals and high-level departures. He faced accusations of obstruction of justice related to the investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election. He made inflammatory remarks about women, minorities, and people with disabilities. His rhetoric and policies deepened the partisan divide in the country. Protests erupted across the nation. His approval ratings remained historically low. In a highly partisan impeachment trial, he was acquitted by the Senate on charges of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. Section 6. A Conservative Resurgence Shaping the Judiciary. One of Trump's most enduring legacies will be his impact on the judiciary. He appointed 2 conservative justices to the Supreme Court, Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh. He also appointed a record number of conservative judges to lower federal courts. These appointments will have a profound impact on American law and society for decades to come. Conservative groups celebrated his judicial appointments, seeing them as victories for their causes. Liberal groups expressed alarm, fearing that the courts would roll back abortion rights, voting rights, and other hard-won gains. Section 7, 2020, a tumultuous year and a contested election. The COVID-19 pandemic dominated the year 2020. Trump's handling of the crisis drew criticism from both sides of the aisle. His downplaying of the virus, his promotion of unproven treatments, and his attacks on public health officials sparked outrage and confusion. The economy, which had been a bright spot for Trump, went into a tailspin. Millions lost their jobs. The death toll from the pandemic mounted. Amidst this backdrop, Trump faced re-election against Joe Biden, the Democratic nominee. The election was one of the most contentious in American history. Trump repeatedly made baseless claims about widespread voter fraud. He refused to concede the election to Biden. Section 8, Project 2025, a blueprint for a Trumpian future. Even in defeat, Trump's influence remained strong. He continued to promote conspiracy theories about the election. He teased the possibility of another presidential run in 2024. His supporters, many of whom believed his claims of a stolen election, remained loyal. Project 2025, a conservative initiative, gained traction within Republican circles. This project outlined a plan to drastically reshape the federal government along conservative ideological lines, with a focus on shrinking the size and scope of government agencies, promoting traditional values, and challenging what they saw as liberal bias in institutions. Section 9. The Legacy of a Showman: Trump's Enduring Grip on American Politics. Donald Trump's journey from businessman to president was nothing short of remarkable. He was a real estate mogul and a reality TV star before he entered the political arena, bringing with him a flair for the dramatic and a knack for capturing the public's attention. His campaign was unconventional, breaking all the traditional rules of politics. He upended American politics, shattered norms, and left an indelible mark on the nation. His rallies drew massive crowds, and his message resonated with many who felt left behind by the political establishment. He used social media to communicate directly with the public, bypassing traditional media channels. His presidency was a time of turmoil, division, and upheaval. The country saw unprecedented levels of political polarization, with fierce debates over immigration, healthcare, and foreign policy. Protests and counter-protests became a common sight, reflecting the deep divisions within American society. His legacy will be debated for generations to come. Some will remember him as a transformative figure who challenged the status quo, while others will see him as a polarizing leader who deepened the nation's divides. His impact on the judiciary, with the appointment of 3 Supreme Court justices, will be felt for decades. His supporters saw him as a fearless outsider who challenged the status quo and fought for the forgotten man. They admired his willingness to take on the establishment and his promises to bring jobs back to America. For many, he was a symbol of hope and change. His critics saw him as a demagogue who stoked division, undermined democratic institutions, and damaged America's standing in the world. They pointed to his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic, his impeachment trials, and his rhetoric as evidence of his unfitness for office. One thing is certain: Donald Trump's impact on American politics is far from over. Even after leaving office, he continues to be a dominant force in the Republican Party, influencing its direction and policies. His endorsements can make or break political careers. His movement continues to shape the Republican Party, influence policy debates, and energize his base of supporters. The Make America Great Again slogan remains a rallying cry for many, and his influence is evident in the party's stance on key issues like immigration and trade. The future of American politics remains uncertain, but the shadow of Donald Trump will continue to loom large. Whether he runs for office again or not, his presence will be felt in every election, every policy debate, and every political movement for years to come.